do you think that like social media has a lot to
Oh,
do
hell
with
yeah.
what happened? Because we're seeing people like go, all they do is travel.
It's probably, yeah.
All they do is travel and they make money. So like, you know
Yeah.
what, like why can't my job just let me travel and have fun, and then I
Yeah.
can also get
Or
highly paid?
why can't I be an influencer and then start filming stuff, and make money, good money and some of that.
Yeah.
Or eat anywhere you want, right? Showcase all the food stuff, or drive. Or you see all these crypto influencers driving freaking Lamborghinis and stuff,
There you
like,
go. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you're just like, oh, everyone, like all these social media people are doing great. So why do I have to work this 996 job forever? Like, why am I struggling through and doing all this work when these guys, all they do is just post a little couple things on the internet and then they're making bank.
Hey there, welcome to the Gluten-Free Organic Thoughts podcast, where you are encouraged to express your natural thoughts and views through casual, meaningful conversations that hopefully can lead to learning and understanding new perspectives. To find out more info, visit www.gfOThoughts.com. Now, here are your hosts, Michael Wong and Robert Din. We hope you enjoy this episode.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another great episode of Gluten-Free Organic Thought Podcast. My name is Michael, and always with me, Robert.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? How's it going? We got a great episode for you today. All right, we're gonna talk about all these people who just keep on just quitting their jobs, don't want to go to work, voluntarily retiring for a little while.
I think this is going to be a great episode since we're going to talk about the Great Resignation. But before you accuse them of not retiring, let's get into our drinks first, okay? All right.
All right. You want me to go first? All right. Today,
Go ahead.
I have this sparkling rosé. There's like nothing on this except it just says Alma Negra. It's like sparkling rosé.
Okay.
It's super
is
dark.
it good?
So far, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Is it more on the
It's from
sweet?
Argentina.
So it's not a sweet. It's much drier.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah,
I am drinking a non-alcoholic beverage, raw kombucha, a gingerberry.
Kombucha.
Yeah, kombucha, gingerberry. See, so
gingerberry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's tasty. It's light. Something and I like kombucha, so it helps you clean some palates, and so.
If you drink enough kombucha, do you get drunk? There's
No.
like a small percent of alcohol, right?
I don't think they even rated the alcohol percentage in this thing, to be honest with you. Yeah, there's no rating for alcohol percentage. It's just 5% juice. That's all it says.
Only 5% juice? You're getting
Yeah,
you're getting ripped off on this thing.
I know, right?
Other things in there.
It says, at least it says organic and unpasteurized, which is great.
That could mean anything.
I know. Something I know too much about labels. Let me tell you.
We already talked about labeling in another episode.
Yeah. All right. So let's jump into this episode about the Great Resignation. Something that Robert's probably jealous of, but because it's not happening to him, and he's not partaking in this.
I don't know if I'm jealous because I still get a paycheck, so I feel like I'm okay. I feel as much as my job is hard, like I think I'm okay. This came out because like there's a lot of articles every day. I wake up and there's a new article saying, "Oh my God, there's more people quitting, and that like these companies are hiring." Like they just keeps on articles like no one's.
So hang on, Robert, take a step back. So let's explain people what's going on, happening, how long it's been going on for. Like, what is the Great Resignation? Let's explain to them.
Oh, the Great Resignation. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think since COVID started, there was already like when COVID started, there was a bunch of layoffs that happened. A lot of companies laid people off, and then now we're getting to a point where companies are ready to bring people back on, but instead we have our full-time workers like resigning and not just deciding not to come back to work or stopping work that they're currently in, and it's happening by like boatloads. What was it like last the last numbers were like 4.2 million
4.4
people
million, but the quarter that was, I think.
in the last quarter.
But yeah, so as of June, as of June was 3.9 million people has quit the job, right, of this year, and then I believe as of July we had roughly around 4.4 million people. So sorry, as of September, sorry, as of September, yeah, and they expect this to continue throughout 2022. So I think as taking a step back of the Great Resignation, in a sense is that, like you said, right, a lot of companies had to release those workers, and then a lot of them couldn't get the people back actually because they found other jobs or they get enough money from the government or they did something else, right? And then the other part of it is that the current full-time people who remain, working remotely, some of that, they either don't want to go back to the office or they're looking for other opportunities. And I think PwC did a survey actually. I think like 61% were looking for a job, And this survey was,
or just like in
no.
general of like people.
So this is a survey. This is a survey conducted in early August, and by PwC. Like 65% were already people were actively looking for jobs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
interesting.
And it's crazy because I guess the question is the why now, right? Like, and obviously we'll dive into what we think our perspective of why now and the reason why they're doing it. But the part take to this is that we want to find out what demographics impacting this, right? And then the industry. So with that in mind, Robert, I see this in the tech industry a lot, especially coming from consulting. I know that for sure. This is happening a lot. Obviously, healthcare probably too, because of the overwork that they're getting right now.
Mm-hmm.
And hospital offer more people, so therefore people are switching jobs left and right. Contracts being moved around. I'm sure you probably see this as well.
Yeah. In the tech industry, there's definitely a lot of people that are leaving their jobs. I think tech is very special, where like these people are very well paid already. So when you get to the point like you get at that point where they probably have money saved up. They've been overworked for so long that they're like, you know what, let's just take a break, and we have money saved up to live off of. So we could take a break and look for the next opportunity, or like just chill out for maybe a month or two and then start looking again, or for however long you want. Um, and there's I think that tech is a very specific industry to that. Maybe consulting is very similar, where they're paid and they're just worked so much, right? Like there's just so much work to do as a consultant.
Yeah. Well, especially during COVID time, we just got more work because now a lot of companies are merging, structuring, impacting the business process and stuff like that, how they impacted the bottom line. It's just a lot of more work just came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think it sounds like the most of the impact is impacting, I guess, mid-career people who are doing this. At least according to this article, by Harvard Law that's releases in fact in September, as that that it explains that, at least from, I guess, the industry perspective. So in terms of age of 30 to 45, this is the greatest increase of resignation. And I'll say, I think this is maybe the early millennials, you could say, right, at this point.
Yeah, this is millennials. This is our group of people that are deciding, you know what, maybe work is not all we need to do, and and they're at a point where they're like, you know what, let's reconsider our lifestyles.
And also,
yeah.
Oh no, sorry, no. I was just saying that also, like, the number of resignation actually went down for the people who between age of 20 and 25. So the Gen Z has stayed more put, or I guess you could say the entry level. You know what I mean?
It's also like where they are in their careers, right? If you're early in your career, you're not gonna just quit. You don't have any money to quit, right? So when you're like in the industry, like, or like been working for 10 to 15 years, I mean, hopefully you would have enough saved up where like you could live for a few months without without a job, right? So that you can take a break. That's what I would think in that's why our generation would be the ones that are the ones that are most impacted by this.
And I guess the question is though, right? Why are people doing it in the first place? I
Also,
guess
in this article, it says
yeah.
resignations fell for those in the age of 60 to 70.
Oh, so
Weird,
the
right?
older,
The
well,
older,
is it the executive, the CEOs, that because they getting paid more?
no, resignation rates fell. So
So
they
less people resign,
less people resigning at the age of 60 to
or
70.
are they getting forced retired?
Oh, maybe that's a
You see?
statistic they didn't take into account, where they didn't resign, they were just
Yeah.
pushed out.
I
Okay.
know, like at Disney, about a lot of executives that got forced resign. Let me tell you, forced retired during COVID time.
Hmm. That is true. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
during COVID time, it was a mess because there's a lot of companies that were letting people go or putting people on like
Yeah.
leave.
Mhm.
And then when you're at that point and you're like 60 or 70 and you're like put on leave or sabbatic or whatever, you're just like, all right, I guess I'll just stop working. Like, when am I gonna get another job? It's hard to get another
Yeah.
job that late in your career, and then
Yeah.
you're not getting paid anyway, so just quit.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, identifying the issue, right, is that I guess the question is, so like, are these companies are doing enough to create like a retention program to retain the employees? I mean, is it more like, okay, you know what, they could be easily replace these people, right? Because at the end of the day, I feel like people should be your asset. You know what I mean? Like they should be doing enough to hold them back from doing this, but they're not though.
Yeah, but I don't think it's all the company's fault, right? Like the companies aren't always the ones that fault. It depends on why you're quitting and stuff. But like they're like like I know for sure like my company and a lot of other companies I talk to, or like managers that I've talked to, this is very high on their list of like of things to look at, because I mean, if you don't have people working, like your company doesn't, your business doesn't run, right? Like you need people. So everyone is definitely thinking about these higher up in companies, but it's, I don't know how much they have of say on this. If like it's they might have a little bit with their culture and stuff, but it could just be that it's our time and everyone's here just to like resign. They're just ready to take a break.
Yeah, and but the thing is that as part of it is also too, I think like obviously like people want flexibility, right? We know that people want a little bit more work-life balance because now that they understood COVID, you know what, they realize time for with the family is more important, time for the health is more important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people are taking this seriously. The other part of it is that because certain companies will willing to do like the hybrid model or going remote fully, and it's attracted to them, right? So therefore, especially in the tech industry, let me tell you, there's more money thrown around, there's more job created over time, and right now, more than ever. So they're going to be fighting for talent left and right.
Mm-hmm. But that's also like high end talent, right?
Yeah,
They're also like there's a lot of jobs that are there, but there's also a lot of talent that they're looking through, and
yeah,
the people who are top of the crop are going to get those jobs, right?
yeah. And, and let's talk. I mean, let's talk about the job that exists right now that the industries that's having a hard time to fill, right? Let's, for example, job at the hospitality, hotels, restaurants, small and
Retail.
pop businesses, retail, some manufacturing jobs. Think about that as well,
Mm-hmm.
and potentially also agriculture jobs that requires heavy labor work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Like there's a lot of you like walk around San
Yeah,
Francisco or like a big city, like you see a lot of stores have closed down from COVID. So just the stores closing down is also like maybe it's a little bit forcing people to retire to I keep on saying retire because it's like, but it's not always retire, it's just like not working. And then these jobs are for sure like you need to be in person, right? Those are the ones that get hurt the most. There's a lot of articles, a lot of research done that people are looking to do more remote work. And for industries where it's impossible to do, where like you have to be there in like the travel industry or something, you have to be there.
Yeah,
right?
right
Like,
now travel industry is suffering right now. Like the airlines are not hiring fast enough
yeah,
because so they get because the people that they laid off last year they did not come back. They thought they would come back. They
mm-hmm.
found other jobs.
They found other jobs, yeah, and then
Yeah.
so now like there's flights being delayed left and right
No,
because they just don't have
cancel.
enough.
Flights being canceled.
Yeah, cancel. Yeah, because they
Yeah.
just don't have enough staff to handle it.
Well, and so the funny thing is that they forecasted it. Okay, as if things open up, they forecast the number of flights are going to open up, right? And because they did not have enough staff to cover those forecasts, they had to cancel all those flights and refund a lot of people. So
Yeah.
companies are like, for example, Southwest offered me a $200 voucher ticket for canceling my flight, even though my flight cost me $49.
So you
You
made
know,
out good on there.
I've been twice, by the way.
Man, I need
You
to
know,
fly. I need to fly Southwest more.
I
That's
know.
what
Well,
it is.
that
Just
well that
make $200 easy.
well, and like American Airlines going through the same situation right now. They're losing so much money because of that right now. You know, but one of the things is that we can talk about the airline industry, right? But let's talk about the small and pop businesses because they don't have to run away due to this.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
they don't. Their owners are working the restaurants or the owners are working those shops.
Yeah, and if they don't have workers, then they have to do it themselves.
And the margin is not big enough for them to, let's say, pay $20 an hour. To be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what do you think is going to find those workers?
Where they're gonna find the workers?
Yeah.
They're either going to get those darn immigrants that will
Yeah.
work jobs that we don't want to work apparently, and pay them under the table or do something fishy to get them in. But like, or they're just gonna have to close down. Like I said, like there's a lot of stores that have closed down. You just walk in any big city. I was just in Denver and in LA, here in San Francisco. Like there's a lot of stores that have just closed down because they just can't. It's costing too much for just like rental space, or like they just don't have enough traffic, and most of it is they don't have, like, labor is getting more expensive.
Yeah. No, on top of that, labor is getting more expensive because of inflation right now. So everyone's jacking up the rates. It's cost, So therefore, no one's going to work a $10, $11 job, or $15 job, whatever it is.
Didn't we just pass a $15 minminimum wage somewhere? Isn't that like isn't that like
it's not
federal?
it's a federal thing by 2025.
2025. All right. Well.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that I think it was part of the infrastructure bill. And correct me if I'm wrong, some of that. But anyway, but regardless to that though, I still think that if these restaurants are not capable to hire people, and we're not even opening the borders to have that kind of immigrants coming in, I still feel like they're going to struggle in the next year or so.
Yeah, and that's why you see a lot of ghost kitchens opening up. Like they don't need like face-to-face people. They just need a small staff, and then they have delivery drivers go and deliver from their kitchens and stuff. And
So
those are grown a lot during this time, the last couple of years.
So a lot of restaurants are being forced to change their business model to more like more lean, I guess.
Yeah.
I know. I can see that happening. Yeah.
So like it's either they gotta, like, these small businesses have to change, or they're just gonna have to I don't know. Hopefully they have enough runway to go, but like eventually they're gonna have to close if they can't make rent.
Let me tell you though, Amazon was smart enough. They bumped up the wages and they were hiring left and right. They were able to steal a lot of people. I'm telling you, from those industries, the warehouses people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Well, people want easy job, right? And they want high paying easy job sometimes. And just happen to be, warehousing sometimes it's easy, right? It's more simple task, monotonous task. They pay $20 an hour, just a little bit more than the regular industry does.
Yeah. So. Everyone feels like they're underpaid, and they feel like they do too much work. That's just people in general.
People are so entitled nowadays, Jesus, you should be lucky to have a job,
Oh, is that okay? Yeah. That's how the mentality should be.
It should be though. I feel like part of it is that we feel so entitled to stuff. Don't get me wrong. I think, okay, and I'm not saying that I'm not part of the issue, but I'm pretty sure I am, but also it's because, well, I'm admitting it, okay, I'm admitting this in the air, okay?
Okay.
I probably am part of the issue, but also at the same time, though, I recognize that because it's a work product of our parents, right? Because they're too busy just to work to survive. Now that they create this environment for us that we work to just to live now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have this more spare time, and we create these opportunities for us, blah blah blah. So we have able to find high paying jobs.
We also have more opportunities than they did,
Correct.
right? So
Correct.
when you have more opportunities, you get higher paying jobs, then you don't have to worry about surviving. You can actually live life and actually
And
like
think about stuff and
think
think
about.
about the
Mm-hmm.
mhm. And but that's where like I feel like the entitlement comes in carefully because we tend to let that come bite us in the ass later on. But and then we don't think about it that we're entitled when we actually be entitled, right? Because I'm like, oh, we deserve this and deserve that. There's gonna be a fine line, I think, whether we deserve it, like we're entitled for this versus we earn for this, right? And and I feel like there's some certain things that I feel a lot of people have crossed that fine line, but also at the same time, the opportunity, like you said, we have way more opportunity to do this, so therefore we should take advantage of this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do you think that like social media has a lot
oh
to do
hell
with
yeah,
what happened? Because we're seeing people like go, all they do is
it's
travel.
probably yeah,
All they do is travel and they make money. So like, you know what,
yeah,
like why can't my job just let me travel and have fun, and then I
yeah.
can also get
Or
highly
why can't
paid?
why can't I be an influencer and then start filming stuff, and make money, hide it, good money and some of that.
Yeah.
Or eat anywhere you want, right? Showcase all the food stuff, or drive. Or you see all these crypto influencers driving freaking Lamborghinis and stuff.
There you
Like,
go. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you're just like, oh, everyone, like all these social media people are doing great. So why do I have to work this 996 job forever? Like why am I struggling through and doing all this work when these guys, all they do is just post a little couple things on the internet, and then they're making bank.
Well, yeah. I feel like social media have fueled the fire to this for sure. And I'm, you and I've seen like crazy resignation letters, right? Let's be honest, like crazy resignation
there's
letters.
there's quite a few on the internet of crazy resignation.
you know, it's pretty bad, like, and but one of the things that um I want to make sure that's out there, like so for example, like I know friends of mine that have quit a job because one they realized COVID time they value the time more, but then like you said they had the opportunity to do it themselves because they now, like you said, they made more money, they had savings, and it created opportunity for them to do that. But the other part of it is that I feel like there are certain people who, you know, who quit because they can survive on government's money, to be honest, too, a part of it,
That's
you know?
true. Yeah, and but I think that's like also that's
But
also
that's running
something like
out, though.
at the beginning of COVID, or like when
Yeah.
during COVID, people were getting like $600 a week in like
Yeah.
government funding. Like
Unemployment. Yeah.
that's that's amazing amount of money for someone working minimum wage, and then now they're
Yep.
getting paid way more by the government. But I don't know,
But
like that
but
hasn't
that ended already.
lasted, right?
No,
Like
no, that that
it
that,
hasn't
that ended
lasted.
already.
It's one of those things where like it's something you say as a statistic or whatever, and then but it's hard to like justify over the long term. We've been through COVID for 2 years now, like COVID times the 2 years, and like we're still seeing people quitting more and more. It can't possibly be because they had $600 a week like a year ago. Right? Like I don't think they're that $600 has lasted them that long.
No, of course. And all I'm saying is that, though, let's say that you have a family of four people working on the minimum wage, right? All
Mm-hmm.
four people get $600 a piece per week. You think about that, that adds up very quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
So living in the same roof, but I mean, I'm not saying that that's part of the reason why people haven't gone back to work yet. It's also because I feel like there's a lot more opportunities out there for people to find better jobs. You can say, and like you said, the social media is part of it because it kind of encourages people to try to do their own thing, right? Try to
Mm-hmm.
create a job for themselves. They try to create a more entrepreneurship, environment for themselves because now they're working from home now. They'll be stuck at home, working from home.
Yeah, and I think people have like uh they've they've gotten into like the innovative spirit where
Yeah.
they quit their job, and then they're like, you know what, maybe try to do something else. And a lot of times it's working, right? Like a lot of times it just It just makes enough for them to live. Like they might not be living the same
They're
exact life.
happier.
Yeah, they might be not be living the same life, but they're happier. Like they have a better they get to stay home more with their family or whatever, but then they are still making a little bit of money doing this or that, or like whatever project that they're have their mind set on as like this might be what I can do to make a little bit of money, right?
The thing is that though, like I obviously companies can can do what they have to do in order to make sure that to retain the people, right? No, because I know companies are expanding benefits, to try to retain them. So a lot of companies gave like percent market rate increase in the salary,
Mm-hmm.
like I mean, so that means they knew that they were getting underpaid, so that oh, you know what, we're gonna increase the market rate,
It might
like
not even be that they're underpaid, that they just want to retain their talent, right? So
yeah.
like they might be
Well,
overpaying.
why not pay for the market rate already? But before they
No,
didn't
they
have to
might
do that
they
yet.
like there's I don't know, like my company, right? They said they were paying market rate before, and now they're jumping it up to the top 75% of their peer group that they're looking at, right? So they're increasing what they see as market rate. They're increasing the pay of it just to retain talent and to bring in better talent that they have.
So
So
for us, it was a bit different. Before I left, they increased to the market rate, okay, because they realized people were leaving fast,
mm-hmm.
and then maybe that stopped some people, maybe that didn't, but they also expanded some of the outside benefits too, and then they gave better bonuses just to keep you
What
around.
kind of outside benefits?
Like for example, hey, now you can subscribe to Econox for free, or you can do
Mm.
this, blah blah. Child care, because a lot of people working from a remote right now from home. They understand that they use this child assistance, so they give 50% stipend for your family
Mm-hmm.
too. So little things like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of the companies they found out real quick that they need to change their culture, and
Yeah.
that's a difficult thing to change within a year.
Oh yeah.
So I think like they're doing all these things, and maybe they're doing it, and people are still like, yeah, they're just trying to like game us, right? And that's how a lot of times when I see like the company does something, I'm like, yeah, they're just trying to game me to get in there. Oh,
That perspective, right? Yeah.
we're giving y'all a spot bonus, but it like it ends like or it I don't know, it vests in 3 months or
Cheers.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it vests quarterly for the rest of the year. So then you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, well, they're just gaming us so that we'll stay an extra 3 months, and then 3 months later they're like, oh, we'll give you another spot bonus and something like that, like gaming you to do that type of stuff. But
Happened to me, man. You know what? When I left, I was like, you know what? I don't care about it. I don't care about $1,500 bonus. I was like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, it was $10,000 bonus. That's a different story, But it was a $1,500. I was like, nah, I'm good.
man,
Yeah.
yeah, my company gave us big bonuses. They gave us half of our year end bonus at the
Upfront.
in July. Yeah,
Wow.
and then they're like, yeah, if you stay for six, I think it was like monthly for 3 months that they'll
But
give it to you.
your company realized that, right? A lot of companies don't realize that. Let's
Yeah,
just take about let's walk away from the top Fortune 1,000 company, right?
right,
Let's
right.
just talk about the middle-sized small businesses, because they don't have the time to recognize that, because they're so busy
But they,
working.
but no, but they need to, right? So like these companies, that's what I'm saying. Like culture is hard to change, and by the time you
Yeah.
figure out you need to change, it's like way
It's too
too
late.
late. And like
Yeah.
companies are like, even if they identify it and they're like, oh, we need to change, like the change is too slow. It's always just too slow. You're gonna lose out on whoever's there and wants to leave. You're gonna lose those people anyways, and then you're just hoping that the next group that you bring in, you have the culture set so that they'll like maintain it, and like that'll keep them right. And I think that's where we're at right now, is like people are moving out, and like the companies didn't change fast enough, or like there wasn't it was impossible to change fast enough, and then now like they're like, okay, we need to change for the next group of people that come in.
But I feel like this whole turnover ratio is not going to slow down, at least for the beginning of next year, just because there's so many spots not being filled. There's more company hire, and then not only that, with especially I mean I'm just speaking for the tech sector itself, right? More companies are coming out of nowhere, new startups, new areas, some of that. They're just trying to, there's too many new companies out there to try to get more talent out there. It's trying to get more jobs.
Yeah, I
And
think that's always the case too, though. That's always a thing. Like, there's always new
yeah,
companies coming out, and they're gonna start paying higher than what the big companies, the big tech
yeah,
companies or big whatever companies are gonna pay. They're gonna overpay because they need the talent, and I
yeah,
think that's the thing, right? Like, I think about it, and I'm like, you know what? Like, you have your company, and people are leaving, and those companies are hiring high end talent. So they're pulling talent that's probably at other companies over, right? Not the ones that are not working right now. It's the ones that
yeah.
are high end, and like they're dragging people over from other companies that may not even want to move, or like were high end and like want to move over. Like, those guys are getting all the jobs now, and then later on you'll see the second tier people, third tier people, like finding jobs in what's ever left over.
Yeah, I guess so. It's
It's
just
also a
interesting
thing,
to
like,
see.
all these people leave. Like, I maybe we'll switch over to like reasons people leave or whatever. But like, as people leave, it's more work for the people that are there, and
That's true.
then
And
those
then
people
and
get
then
disgruntled and they
correct,
look to
because
leave.
the workload just increases dramatically for them. They're
Yeah,
doing the job of 3 people.
so it's like spirals. It like spirals out of control.
Yeah, that's true. And that's way much tough to handle, to be honest. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I feel like because if the longer you feel that gap, I mean, you don't feel that gap because the more disgruntled they get, the more frustrated they get, and they realize, you know what, I'm more valuable. I can just leave this behind, and they're screwed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that is something that I think if there's a gap like that, it's gonna be hard to fill though. Like,
Yeah,
especially when
and I think the old school companies, which have like a longer, like, it takes longer for them to hire the next person in.
yeah,
Like, those companies are gonna be the most affected by all of this. Like, newer, like, I don't know. I've been to quite a few like young tech companies, and they're all like they'll hire you within a week. Like, if they like you, they're gonna hire you right away. Like, those companies will probably they might have people leave, but they can fill those spots much faster than the people that need to go. The companies that have like red tape, and you need to interview a certain number of people to get there, and like, I don't know.
true.
It takes forever for some of these older companies to hire anybody.
Yeah, that's for sure. So okay, so how long you think this Great Resignation will last? You think
I don't, I don't know. I think it's last at least through next year.
until the jobs get every single job gets fulfilled?
No, no, not every job, but like, I feel like
All right, do you
there's a
think enough people quit? You think there's enough people quit already?
have enough people quit.
Yeah,
No, I think probably people will continue to quit through next year, like through the end of
really?
next year, and then I feel like it'll get to a point where people who have quit the last couple of years are now like looking to be like, all right, now we've spent all of our money, we need another job.
I think it's gonna be like a
that's
increased
that's what
cyclical.
I think is like the struggle, right? The struggle is like,
Yeah,
what's gonna push first? Is it gonna be people are like, oh, now I'm strapped and I need to find a job, versus like the companies are like, okay, we're gonna change how we work to accommodate these new employees.
what caves in first to a certain
Yeah,
degree?
which one's gonna cave first? And I feel like you run out of money way faster than a company moves.
I don't know, but that's potential losing revenue though, and then that cascades their employee frustrated, and more people quit within the industry, within the company.
I mean, it's true, but like, a company can only move so fast. They're so big a lot of the times.
But also a company can only last losing revenue. Let me tell you, a quarter revenue loss impacts a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's
So
true. That's true.
yeah,
That's true. And stock prices drop, and like
yeah,
stock prices drop, and like people start getting fired. Like, you
yeah,
start getting executives fired, then things really move.
yeah. Eventually, you get a new CEO. You know. All right,
That's what we're waiting
so
for. I'm waiting for CEO job to come to me and be like, you know what? We had to fire the last guy. time for you to move in. And then I'm like, all right, I'll move over.
But listen, I'm more realistically, I'm looking for COO. It's fine,
See,
yeah,
that's true. I don't want to be CEO of any company.
me neither. It's so much stress. Yeah, no life. All right, so it's time to wrap this episode up. Okay, so for me, I think that this could last probably until late next year. I think this cyclical is going to continue as everything gets inflated. Prices, cost goes up. Other people tend to look, well, you know what, and they make more money. Now the opportunity is time to do it. So more people is going to quit. I think that even though right now it's the age of 35 to 43, whatever it is, 30 to 43, I feel like the younger generation are looking into opportunities like that too, because cost is impacting them more, like I said, but they're gonna be side looking at the job, or they're gonna they're gonna have more time to do that, more than probably the older people, and because technology is there, right? And so,
and I think they're gonna see people successful in their like
right.
on social media, and they'll be like, you know what, we could do this too.
Yeah, correct. And so it's going to be a huge influence behind that with the Gen Z situation. The question is, though, has enough people quit yet? I'd say we'll probably maybe, almost halfway there, maybe a little bit more, because I'm in a bunch of fish bowls, and I can see a lot of people getting offers already for new jobs, things like that. So people will be settling into those new positions, at least in the corporate world that I've seen so far right now. Maybe not in the hospitality area, things like that, retail, because obviously with the retail going on right now, there's a huge shortage with the holiday season. I see that people hiring like crazy right now. Like literally, if you have no job and you want a fast food job, or you want to work at Starbucks, let me tell you, you'll get hired tomorrow.
I saw an article yesterday that like a local business said, if anybody wants the job, we will give it to them. Like that's the quote from the owner of the restaurant. If anybody wants the job, we will give it to them.
Yeah. It's because the help is real, you know what I mean? The help, you need the help. I right now, I wish if there was enough profit margin to start a nonprofit business to help people, those local businesses, find jobs. You know what I mean? To fulfill this position. You will have to do a nonprofit in order to say survive, like to like help out and to help those local businesses to fulfill those jobs.
Mike, just do it, man. You can create this nonprofit, and then you get paid like who is it, what is it, United something, or the Salvation Army CEO. Just get paid. Just get paid millions of dollars. It'll be fine. You're doing it for the people.
I just don't think this margin's there, to be honest with you. But
United Way, the United Way guy, the United Way CEOs are getting paid way so much. Yeah, there you go. Just make a United Way. Long.
Yeah, I guess I mean, listen, I don't know if I'd like to be the CEO of United Way, but I mean, he's only, apparently, according to this Glassdoor, he's only making 200K. So
I feel like that's low. I feel like I read somewhere they were making way more. But yeah, I think it's very true. I think everything you said is true. I think local businesses are struggling the most. I think the hospitality industry, I think, is gonna have to like re-up with like college grads, because I don't know how many people who have left those jobs and want to go back in, right? Like once they've found that they don't like that job anymore, they might move on to something else. And there's a lot of like back end finance jobs that can be done, or like business roles that can be done, right?
Well, I think with the Gen Z situation, they're gonna, like you said, they're gonna settle in 1 or 2 years, 3 years, and then if they realize, this is too much work or it's not to them, they're gonna quit and they're gonna find something else. I feel like they're gonna have less patience than the millennials, to be honest with you.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, so they might quit their jobs way faster than we.
Well,
we might have been. Well, I think what it is like a lot of the millennials have been stewing on this thought for like a long time. They're just sitting
Yeah.
there like, you know what, I should quit.
For 10
I
years.
don't want to quit. Yeah, they've been doing this for many, many
Yeah.
years. Like, oh, I think I should quit. Oh, I don't want to work this
I
anymore.
mean, some of us had done it for 8 years, we should have quit,
Yeah, someone putting their own spin on their own experience in like 8 exact years of experience. But yeah, like I think we've been stewing on it for a while, and then now it's just like, you know what? What's a better time than now when like COVID is here, no one's leaving no one's going outside anyways. Might as well just try to have some fun or have like a better work-life balance.
I mean, at the end of the day, your health is your wealth, right? So why not pursue that?
It's true.
And so, listen, if you can have all the money in the world, if you don't have the health to enjoy it, what's the point?
I mean, that's
right?
true. That's true.
Yeah,
we don't live for our family anymore. We live for ourselves.
For ourselves, especially we're single, young people with no kids. We have no responsibility. Think about it. Like, you know what mom always said? I need to get some kids to get responsibility coming. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When we were growing up, it's like you need to get a job so you learn responsibilody. Now we have jobs. Right? They're like, you need to have kids.
Oh, now you need to get kids.
You just need more and more responsibility throughout.
I don't know. I think my mom thinks I'm irresponsible. It's like, why are you having work for 3 months? You're becoming lazy now. I say, I don't.
That's what I'm saying, Mike. You're the one that's retired. I keep saying retired, but you're the one that's retired.
I'm not retired. I'm passively looking. You know that.
Passively looking.
I look at jobs to see if it fits, and then I apply.
Yeah, you look at jobs, you see if it fit, and then you just don't apply. That's how it works. You're just like, you know what, it's not the right role.
I sent you a few referrals, okay? All right. I haven't got a call back. It's not my fault.
It's been auto rejections the whole way.
See, it's been auto rejection. See, it's been auto rejection the whole way. See,
but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're more picky. Like as much as like the job market people are picky, the people who are hiring are also being very picky as well.
Oh, of course, for sure, 100%, for sure.
Because everyone's out of work, so they can be as picky as they want to get the best talent.
And the funny thing is that a lot of these companies are trying to be picky because they think they can, but they don't. But they're not fulfilling. But they're not fulfilling it with those positions as fast as they should because, and it just impacting their own company, their own workload. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they should be pushing the envelope, but they're not.
Yeah, that's true. But it's also like an old school mentality where like when there's a lot of people unemployed, you can like be picky with who you're gonna pick up, but they don't realize that affects the people that are actually working there now.
Yeah, listen, this can drag out for only another month, like for another maybe 3 more months, maybe 6 more months to those companies, because at the end of the day, I feel like
if they're not doing it, if they're not updating now, if it's too late. They're gonna lose a lot more people.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a cascading thing, right? And this is why I see this cycle going on. Continue. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, all right. So let's wrap this episode up. Let's jump into our extra energy funny session for us. What do you have for us today, Robert?
Oh man, I've got a doozy for you. So like last week, I went to the BTS concert. I don't know if you know BTS, but for people out there who don't know BTS is like the biggest pop group in the world right now.
Korean pop group, right?
It's a Korean pop group. I want to say it's 7 dudes, right?
You don't even know. You went to a concert, you don't even know. Did you count them?
No, I'm not a fan. Like, I knew 0 songs walking into that concert, right? But it's because my sister loves BTS, so that she wanted to go. So I was like, all right, I'll fly to LA and like go to the concert with you. The crazy thing is,
was it all girls there? Was it a lot of girls? Guys?
It was a lot of girls. It was.
Dude, so that's good for you though. The ratio is good for you though.
The ratio is good, but I'm with my sister. I'm worried about her. So like, I was more.
Why are you worried about her? There's a lot more girls around you. Why are you worried about her? It's fine.
I don't know. It's crazy, right? And Omicron just started, so I'm trying not to get COVID again, or try not to get the new COVID.
So you wore mask the whole time when you're there?
No, they forced you because we were inside. So they
Oh, you're
forced
in LA. Yeah, they forced you. Yeah,
it was like
correct. You're in LA.
SoFi Stadium, right? SoFi Stadium's a huge stadium, but they didn't open up the
Yep.
top. So
Wow, they didn't open the top. That's stupid. I'm
yeah,
surprised.
I thought like when she told me it was SoFi Stadium, I was like, oh, they're gonna open up the top. It'll be a big outdoor stadium. It'll be fine. But they
But
didn't
they
open
didn't
up the
open it.
top. So so yeah, so we went there. It's I didn't know how wild BTS fans are. Like I heard all the
What do you mean? What do you
stories.
mean wild? What do you mean
I
wild?
heard
Can you
all the
think?
stories. Like there's such fanboy fangirls that
Yeah.
it's just wild. But their fan base is very united as well, right?
Like the whole.
Kind of, yeah. Like everyone who they meet, they love. Like they love other. They call them Army, BTS Army. They call them Army, and they're like,
Oh.
oh, we love other Army people no matter what. Like they don't need to know anything other than that they're part of the Army and they love them, right? So what happened was we went to the concert. Afterwards, we decided, you know what, we're gonna go McDonald's, right? Because that's the only thing that was open. We
In and
go
out,
through,
man. What you talking about?
huh?
In and out, buddy.
I I don't know if In and Out was open or I don't know.
In and out 24 hours. In and out 24 hours.
We just found the closest food that we could because we were starving, right?
Okay.
So we found McDonald's. We went through. We ordered our meal, and they told us to go sit in the car, like the parking lot, and wait for them to bring out the food. So we sat there, and then another car was already sitting there. Apparently, these were BTS fans that my sister and her friends had seen at the concert. So they rolled down the window. They're like, "Oh,
They know each other.
you guys are Army," and they're like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So they had a whole conversation about, "Oh, Army this, Army like." I can't believe they sang these songs. Like, "Oh, how did you get tickets and all this stuff?" And what happened? They were talking stuff like you and I would talk. Like, "Oh,
The gibberish.
no, like oh, if you want to come to Orlando and you want to go to Disney, just stay at my place and
So they
come
were
and
black. It's very community, like Burning Man style. Like
yeah,
very communal.
and I'm sitting there like you have no idea who these
What person
girls
is?
are. Like,
Yeah.
you have no idea what.
It's
like,
okay. You can trust girls.
No, that's I don't know if that's true, but also I don't know. You don't know who these people are, right? Like you're just
That's
like
true. I
inviting
agree.
them to your house, and they're inviting you to their house, and like you can stay with them when there's a BTS concert wherever they are. I'm like, oh
Yep.
my god, this is wild. I never talk to anybody, especially not in like McDonald's parking
Oh,
lot.
Robert, let me ask you this though. So you didn't take this opportunity to introduce yourself to act like a BTS fan, just to say, hey, listen, here's my number. Call, come when you come to SF. Let me know. You know.
I don't know. They're wild. I don't know.
They're too crazy for you. Are they too crazy for you?
They
Those
might be
BTS
a
Army
little too
girls.
crazy. Yeah, might be a little too crazy. Also, none of them were my type, so I didn't really.
Wait. What? Can you tell me the age group you think the age range was? All these like average girls you think that BTS Army? Are we talking about 18,
It's no,
21?
it's probably like early to mid 20s,
So between 20 and 25.
something like that. Yeah, probably around there.
You think anyone older than that?
There's definitely people older, but that's probably like the majority of people. It was around 20, maybe to 28, 29. Maybe it's the whole 20s, but like, yeah, it was definitely
Listen,
like
they're above 18 illegal.
definitely these people who were like who were so dedicated they sat in line for hours waiting for just anything BTS related to happen, right? Like that type of stuff. But that's not the crazy part, right? My sister, we were driving home, like her friends were driving us home, and I was like, and we were talking to these people, and I was like, you guys talk to these girls, like y'all know each other, and like y'all just met, right? And she's like, yeah, like I was like, I never would talk to anybody like that. Like I don't talk to people randomly. She said, my sister said she met maybe 11 people on the plane who were going from Orlando to LA for the BTS concert. She met 11 people on the plane. And I'm thinking like, where are these 11? Like even if you're like middle seat, there's 8 people around you, right? Where did you get the other 3 people? Like that, I had no idea where these people came.
They're probably wearing t-shirts. Okay, so think a step back. Right? Think about this. If you're a Gator person, right, and you're going to a bowl game, right, and you fly to a bowl game, you don't have to know them. You see the Gator hats, and I start conversation with them right away.
No, but
and that's how I meet
she
people.
said these are people she met that she's like befriended.
Yeah, that's normal though.
You know, I would say go Gators, and I wouldn't say another word to that guy.
No, see, I would. It depends on the person. If they click really well, I would become friends with them. Yeah.
No.
I mean, I met a lot of people tailgating like that. I'm not even kidding you.
Maybe
like,
you and my sister are like extroverts.
No, but
like
like for example, like okay, we went to an LSU game in LSU, by the way, in LSU. Okay, we befriends the LSU tailgate before the game because we needed fire. Okay, because someone forgot to grab a lighter to match our grill, so we became friends with them, those LSU Tigers. And then, but the thing is that though. And then on top of that, we grill together. We share food. Okay, we exchange number before the game starts. And this is not even. They're not even Gators. They're LSU Tiger fans. Okay, and because we share the same passion for college football. That's the reason why. So think about it from.
I can see that, but y'all had your own tailgates, right? It was 2 tailgates.
But we became all one tailgate.
No, I get it. Like you're there. Like you go and you like talk. You're on a flight. Right, like I'm not talking to anybody when I'm flying. Like when I'm flying, I say hi to like the stewardess, and that's it. Like that's the only person I talk to when I'm flying. I like you might be sitting next to me, and I might not even say anything to you during the flight.
That's me, man. That is true.
Like I'll be like, I'm gonna watch my TV show. I'm gonna zone out. I'm just gonna get to where we need to go. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a extrovert thing where you just like talk to people.
Is it a extrovert?
I don't know. She's in hospitality, so I would assume she's extroverted. Yeah.
Does he get more? Do you realize? Does he get more energy when she talks to people?
She got more energy when she talked to these people, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. That could be. It could be part of extrovert. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was talking to her and I was like, "Oh my god, you talked to 11 people on the flight? Like I might get to like 3 people on a flight max."
I think you were more afraid that she got COVID because of that, not because
No, I wasn't because she said, "Oh, you know all these friends that we're driving with, I met on that flight."
Really?
She met these people that we were driving with the day before on an airplane. And I was like, you know nothing about these people, and you brought me into this car, and I am now driving with these random people. It's not even. These are not. You don't call these people. These are my friends that I'm taking us home. These are random people taking us.
So you didn't know that. You did not know that.
I didn't know until I just thought I was like, oh, these girls, they're like, they're a little, they're a little weird, but like they're. I don't know. They're younger, so maybe it was just the culture thing. But then and she got along with them, and I was like, okay, they're talking about stuff I don't know, mostly BTS stuff. So I was like, all right, it's just a BTS thing or like whatever. And then I found out like these are legit random people, like just out of nowhere.
Did you guys stay at Airbnb together?
No. We had a hotel, so they were driving us to the hotel.
Nice of them, though. That's awesome.
It was very nice of them. They gave us a ride home. Very nice.
And the stop at McDonald's.
No, they told us they told me they were stopping at McDonald's before they were.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. I was hungry too.
Yeah.
So but it wasn't until that moment when we were at McDonald's.
You realized that.
We were like 10 minutes from the hotel, and I was like, oh my god, we are in a car with random people, just right now.
I mean, listen. Sometimes YOLO. That's all.
This is like youth right here. This is what you do. This is what we did when we were young. I think in college we did the same thing, where like. But
I mean, I still do the same thing. We're talking about. I've done crazy. I've done stuff like this, especially when I travel abroad.
Yeah, I don't do that.
You can even ask Rainer when he went to Argentina what he's done abroad.
Yeah, but
and
y'all are crazy anyways. I don't know if I would do anything. As much as I am a high risk person, I don't just like talk to random people and then go.
Well, good. The funny thing is that people are good in this world. We just assume that they're bad automatically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I assume that they're bad. Like I would be a bad judge because I
not
would
just you.
assume that
I'm talking about,
intent
general.
immediately.
I'm talking about in general. That's not just because of that. Like automatically we're defensive. That's just human nature. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's
I
tough though.
I
I mean,
don't
like,
trust anyone. Everyone's trying to rob me, try to steal from me. I think that's just my mentality. It's just like it's everything is fight or flight right now with people I have no idea who they are. And that's not my sister's mentality. That's not your mentality, apparently. Yeah, I just am like, wow, we just got in a car with random people that could have taken us anywhere. And yeah, I guess we're fine now. But it was a funny experience just being like y'all talk to so many people, and then all of a sudden she's like, no, but all these people that we're with right now are also those random people. I was like,
that's
all right,
funny though.
I guess that's it.
It,
That's
it,
how it works.
it worked out. You made some new friends. That's all that matters, man.
Yeah,
You know?
I got a good story out of it. That's good. That's good
Yeah.
enough.
Well, I mean, hopefully you get some numbers too. You know, stay friends with them. You know, for
No,
another
I
concert.
got
You
no
know,
numbers from the BTS concert.
why not, man? Come on, I would have taken full advantage of that. Get to know some girls. You know, just act like you need some songs here and there. You know, that's fine.
I knew zero songs. I didn't even understand when they were talking in the middle of songs. I couldn't understand them.
I'm pretty sure I would have been lost too. Don't worry. All right. So, yeah.
I listened to a song. Wait. I listened to a song
Yeah.
and I was dancing this song. I was like, oh man, this song is bumping. I like it. And then afterwards, I told
Is it called Butter? Is it called Butter?
yeah, you know Butter.
So I just sent you the link. I sent you the link a couple minutes ago. I think this is the only single that I know about Butter.
No, so I'm listening to this song. I'm like, man, this song is bumping. And I told them, and they're like, oh, that's our least favorite song, and it's all in English.
Butter. It's all in English, yeah, correct, yeah.
And I didn't hear a single English word except butter when they were singing. So I had no idea what this song was about, but I was like, man, this song is bumping. It's good.
When they came to the US, they translated that song into English. That's what happened. And then what happened is that when they wrote the songs in English and they translate that into Korean. Usually they sing in Korean.
Yeah. No, but I didn't know that they were singing English. I didn't even hear any English words. I just was like, oh, I just listened to music and just bumping. But that was it. It's funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious. All right, so my funny thing is this. So I had a friend who sent me this because obviously, you know, I'm preparing my resume, looking for jobs and stuff, you know, trying to get back to a career.
Mostly retired.
Not really. So I saw this so my friend saw this on Reddit and she shared this with me. And this is the funniest resume, but apparently they got a lot of callback. So the title is called "This Resume Got Me Interview." You know, obviously the person's scripted name, but the resume is real, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's literally, if you read it closely, look at the description of the jobs, look at the tasks of the jobs. Let me know what you see the difference in them. Keep going.
Instagram, built a newsfeed infrastructure using React. Okay, optimize, led a team of 6, team coffee maker, and team of 6 was fully caffeinated. Interesting. Yep. All right, Zillow. Okay, evangelized and adopted block React.
Okay. Look at the skill set. Expert in JavaScript, TypeScript, Node, ESF, Mia Khalifa, C++.
Experienced software engineer with background of building scalable systems in fintech, healthcare, and adult entertainment. Oh wow.
Yeah. Lead a team of 6 engineers to mine Ethereum on company servers. So the whole point of this Reddit post is that they got what's called recruiters calling them back because they had because of the what's called Facebook, Google, you know, those big companies naming it. Even the rest of the resume is just crap. Like, you know what I mean? Just in that detail. Because that person wanted to prove a point that they can get an interview just because having those company names in it. Mm-hmm. So she posted the emails that they received, you know, and she decided to do this to multiple companies. She said that with this resume, she got 99% callback.
99% callback?
Yeah, just either like by Notion.
That's why, Mike, I told you, you don't need a 5-page resume. You can just have a 1-page resume.
Well, at the end of the day, though, is work a fan or not at all. That's what it looks like. So fan stands for obviously Facebook, Airbnb, stuff like that. Those big companies, the startups. As long as you have one of those in your resumes, they'll call you back apparently.
Yeah, there you go. Just put one down.
It's just crazy though. Look at the resume though. Like they didn't even read the bullets.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I told you when you gave me your 3-page resume that you should reduce it down to 1 page because no one's gonna read it. You just gotta have.
So you're saying I should just bullshit like this? No, improve LinkedIn search algorithm. Yeah, Baltimore and Charizard.
I think this is like way farther than you should go, but I feel like you can have 2 good bullet points and then 2 bullshit ones, or just get rid of them and they'll be fine. Like you don't have to have a super long resume. No one's gonna read the whole thing.
5 out of 5 for training record of most fucking shot 1-9.
Yeah. No, honestly, no one's gonna get past Zillow. Like they'll see the names of the companies, but they won't get past the bullets.
But look at it. Even in Zillow, organize a team bonding event through company potato sack race to increase team bonding and cohesivity.
Yeah.
No. It gets better. It gets better.
I'm saying you don't need to do this type of stuff because I don't think you have all these companies on your resume. But
I know, but
the first few, you just need a few bullets on each, and you're fine.
No, but it's funny because her resume wasn't even this kind of companies like that. She just did it just to prove a point, though, right? Like rebuild home display virtualized tables to map the 420 FPS screen experience for Lana Roth. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Atlassian wants to have a call. Also, this also like shows you how bad recruiting is.
Yeah.
Just like the HR at all companies is pretty trash. They don't really care about anything. They spearheaded Microsofters for Trump company rally. I love that shit.
It's so good. you gotta make this is pretty good though, right? So
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there's a lot in this. She posted a lot of like people responding. GitHub.
No, this is all recruiters responding back to them. Yeah.
Wattpad.
Yeah, I'm telling you now. Like.
Wait. Oh, so one company rickrolled her. A while back, I wrote an engineering. Oh no, she wrote this back to them, and she rickrolled them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is really crazy.
It's nuts, man. This was just like apparently he got 90% callback, including Reddit, Airtable, Dropbox, Bolt, Robinhood, Mugs, Grubhub, Scale. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You don't need any of this. Just make everything up.
I mean, maybe I just get a Google job for a few months and just quit.
All you need is just to call in, just to get the interview, and then after that, you do whatever. It don't matter.
I'll tell Facebook to hire me.
Just get the interview.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just crazy. All right. So what do you have for the crazy free range rant today?
All right, free range rant session. My rant is about LA.
You love LA that much?
I don't know how you can continue to say that you love LA. I just hate it. Every time I'm there, it sucks. The traffic is the worst. Like, I've never seen traffic worse than LA. It's so bad.
Are you ever visited me when I was there?
I did. I visited you once.
What did we do? I don't remember now.
We just went to eat. Like, we didn't do anything more than that.
Oh, really?
But yeah, because I was going to Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I hate being there. The whole time I'm there, I hate being there. Going anywhere is horrible. It takes forever to get an Uber, and it takes 45 minutes to get to the next spot, no matter where you're going. I just hate it. I think it's the worst city. And I would be okay if it was bad traffic and you didn't need to go, like if you could walk everywhere, but you can't do that in LA. Everything is far. You have to drive. It sucks. I don't know how you can love it so much. I don't understand.
I don't know. I live in Santa Monica, so it's a different story too. So
Yeah.
also depends on the area you live at. I feel like that matters so much.
LA is like the worst city. Like it's of all of the big cities, I'd rather live anywhere else.
Yeah, I still feel like you had a bad experience in LA.
This is not my first time in LA though. Like I've been
Yeah,
in LA multiple times.
but you're not there for that long of a time. Like you're like there for like a day or 2 or 3. You know, you gotta give it like a week or so. You know, you gotta experience LA for itself because there's so much to do. So
I don't know what would I experience that I didn't experience like visiting.
well, the different hikes, the beaches, probably
I don't
you
do
know
any of that.
the mountains and stuff. You do hike. Shut up. Get out of here.
I don't do hikes. I don't. I just don't do it.
The food. You know.
Yeah, I went and got food. Food was all right. Food was good. I don't know. I didn't feel like I wanted a big city. I don't think I want a big city where I have to drive 45 minutes to get to anything.
I get it. I mean,
it's like living. It's like the mix. It's like a mix between being in Orlando and being in like Chicago, right? Like it's like 45 minutes to get everywhere, and there's like I feel like everything's spread out, but it's busy, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just don't think I like everything.
I don't blame you for it. I guess I never driven there, so I mean I barely driven there.
Yeah, but you took Airbnb. So. You took Ubers just as much to get wherever, right?
Yeah, Ubers, Metro. Yeah, it was fine for me. I mean, coming from South Florida, it was issue. You know what I mean? Like it's just drivers are bad not as worse as South Florida. I mean,
that's true.
Traffic is horrible. All right.
It might be my second least favorite place because I hate Miami too. So I hate Miami, hate LA. I'd rather live.
Why? Well, why? I mean, we'll have an episode why you hate Miami. I'm just curious on that. You know, but
Miami's just busy. It's the same. It's just worse. Like everyone is.
Yeah.
Just, everyone.
I do agree. I do agree with traffic though. Way worse for sure. So, and that's the thing. And they're asshole drivers too. So, I'll tell that. So, yeah. All right. So, we are concluding this episode. So,
what's your rant today?
Oh, my rant. Let me. I do, and I don't have a rant. You can say. My rant is kind of. Not really. Sorry, it's kind of job related, but it's not really. So, I've been having a hard time finding the right roles to apply. I told myself.
Well, this is like very specific to this.
Yeah.
To our topic.
Yeah. So the since I came back from my trip from Dubai, I've been looking at roles to I fill my spreadsheet and then I apply things like that, and I've been having a hard time finding the right roles to apply for, and also it's because maybe I'm not looking at the right place. And I noticed that a lot of people has been shifting a lot of their roles into like specific areas, like in LinkedIn or in like a third-party recruiter now sites and stuff. And so,
what do you mean you're not finding the right role? So you're like looking for a specific role.
So I noticed that certain companies are posting different jobs in different areas. So let's say, for example, you will find the same role applying in their company website than they do it in LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that companies are not doing that right now. They're posting certain specific role on LinkedIn, and certain specific role on the website, and certain specific role in like PayScale, or certain specific role in Glassdoor, or certain specific role in AngelList. You know what I mean? Mm. And now I gotta look everywhere now. So I noticed a pattern, and that kind of ticked off. I'm like, mother, I'm like, effort. I'm like, this like, why not post it? I don't get it. Why separate like that?
But it's not. So every company is different in like that. They might put this role in a different spot.
Correct. And I noticed that because I feel like they're trying to attract certain the talent in certain areas. Like for example, people who go to
wouldn't they wouldn't all of those same roles be in one spot versus other spots?
They're not. That's the thing. That's what I thought. That's what I noticed.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, I get it because certain people only look at angel lists, right? Certain type of people. And certain type of people only look at Glassdoor, or certain type of people look at, LinkedIn, whatever it is. I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like, and then not only that, those algorithms doesn't get filtered out by like third-party tools, it's like Indeed.com. It doesn't show like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they block it out from that. So I'm like, so now I'm spending more time looking for jobs, roles in different areas now. So I'm doing way more work than anticipated.
Oh, way more than anticipated. I don't know. Yeah. I was on all those sites all the time when I was looking for jobs. So like I was on every site, like looking at every role.
I get it. It's a numbers game, right? But I told myself that I don't want to apply to a role that I don't see myself growing in it, and I want to make sure that I really want to make sure that I enjoy my next role more than anticipated, because I don't want to think about like work, the stuff that I do, and yes, pay is important, but I feel like the type of job that I do is more important now.
My last role, I was looking for culture more than anything else. Like that was my biggest thing, was like, what do the employees think about the company? Yep. So I looked a lot on Glassdoor for reviews of the company, and that's where I looked for roles mostly.
Yeah, and you're right, and that's for me. That's number 2 right now. It's culture of the company, right? Number 1 is a role for me, and then 2 is culture company for me now. So that's why I rank them.
Yeah, so that's what I was looking at a lot. But I looked at all of those sites too. Like it was always just like always looking. There's not a good like aggregator. Like,
yeah, there isn't. There
are aggregators, but they suck. And like you'll go to an aggregator and it'll show you the weirdest roles that you weren't looking for and that don't fit you at all. It just doesn't make it's no good.
And now that I got LinkedIn Premium account, I get random recruiters hitting me up for stupid stuff.
I get that now. Without the LinkedIn.
Well, my profile was invisible, right? For the longest period of time, it was hidden, so they couldn't find me. But now that I open it up, because I'm passively looking now, so I'm trying to find 40 roles every day and apply for it. That's what I'm trying to do right now, and I'm struggling with that.
4 new roles? So, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I have a role like people would reach out to me, all the time now. And I got a role for like a chemist. Like I don't do any chemistry in my role, guys. I don't know if you who's watching, but I do no chemistry in my role. And they wanted me to be a chemist, and I was like, "Where did you get my resume?" And they said in there, "Oh, we like your background. We think you'd be great for this role." I have no chemistry in my background. Like what is this? I don't even understand.
Is this guy Indian?
No, I don't think it was an Indian guy. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But it was such a weird role. It's one of the weirdest roles anyone has ever like recruited me for. Was a chemist role.
That's pretty funny, right? You gotta be that's pretty funny though.
All right, so I'll forward that to you, Mike, because I think
you should have taken the interview just to see how to react to that.
I think I'll send it to you because I think they'll definitely take you. No problem.
Listen, I've taken job interviews just to practice job interviews now.
All right.
Just because
you can practice bullshitting a chemist role.
just because I feel like when you start looking for jobs, you're kind of rusty.
Yeah.
And so. And then like you're like, oh my god, I don't know if I'm gonna just because it takes a while to get into the groove. Like I feel like it took me like 6 job interviews to get into the groove.
Yeah, for sure. It takes a little while to like get your groove and start like talking about yourself again, because when you're working, you don't really talk about yourself.
But okay, so my first job interview, I didn't expect to go all the way to the final round, and I was super rusty as hell. In my final round was 8 hours long. Imagine going through that.
Wow, that's long. That's a long.
Yeah, and so I was like, wait, if I could do 1 out of 1, I'm like, what? I applied to 1 role, I get job out of the way.
All right,
but
that's why you're applying to 4 and can't find any. You're gonna just apply to just apply 1 out of 4, and then you'll get the interview, you get the job, easy. No,
but I'm just saying, right now, just in general, like now that I've gotten more into groove interviewing, I feel like I'm more confident about, just more about it, so.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
it is a number. I'm sorry, it is a numbers game though. So,
I agree. That's why when I was applying, I applied to hundreds a day.
but depends on when you're applying for the company itself, or you're applying for a role, or when you're applying. See?
Both. Because my number one was culture fit, right? So
Yeah.
I went to companies that I saw had good culture and then applied a bunch. Yeah.
I mean, maybe I should just start looking at a company sort of roles first, because I was looking for roles first, and then I worry about the company. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Which
So,
I don't know. I think culture is more important than role now, because the roles can change even when you jump in. Like, it might not be what you're thinking. So having a culture that's strong will you'll enjoy the transition, even if you don't like, even if it's not the
yeah,
right job in the first place.
that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's my rant. So to conclude this episode, so if you guys are watching this, hearing us on a podcast, please let us know if you are part of the Great Resignation. Let us know what are you doing in your life right now. Comment below if you want to hop on to share
Give
your
Mike some
thoughts.
examples of what he needs to do in his time off while he's retired right now.
I'm not retired right now, but give me some example of what kind of job you're applying for. Let us know, for real. We would like to hear from you. But if you are watching us on YouTube, please hit the like button below and hit subscribe, please, and leave us comments, okay?
Yeah. And if you guys want to listen to any of our other podcasts or watch any of our podcasts, they're all on our website, www.gfotthoughts.com.
Yeah. And until next time, all right? Take it easy.
All right. See you guys. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Gluten-Free Organic Thoughts podcast. If you are watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this episode, and leave us a comment. And as always, you can find us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GFOThoughts. Until next time, see you then.